Welcome back, everyone. In our previous video, we learned what VFD is and how it differs from VSD. Now, in this video, we are going deep inside the VFD, and we are going to understand exactly what happens inside the drive, stage by stage. Look at the screen. 3 stages: rectifier, DC bus, and inverter. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand what each stage does, why it is important, and what happens if any stage fails. Let us get started. Look at the screen. This is the complete power flow inside of VFD. The flow goes like this. 3-phase AC supply goes into the rectifier. Output is DC, approximately 600 volts. Goes into the DC bus. Output is smooth, stable DC. Goes into the inverter. Output is variable AC. And finally, this variable AC reaches the 3-phase motor. So the complete power conversion path is AC 415 volts in, DC 600 volts intermediate, variable AC out. This is the golden rule of VFD power flow. Remember this sequence always: rectifier, DC bus, inverter. 3 stages. Each one has a specific and critical job. Let us now go through each stage one by one. Look at the screen. Stage 1. Rectifier. The rectifier is the first stage of the VFD. Its job is simple: convert incoming 3-phase AC power to DC power. Look at the circuit on screen. 3 input lines, L1, L2, and L3, are connected to a 6-diode bridge arrangement. 3 diodes on the upper arm, 3 diodes on the lower arm, total 6 diodes. This arrangement is called a full-wave bridge rectifier. Now, look at the waveforms at the bottom of the screen. On the left, 3-phase AC input. 3 overlapping sine waves 120 degrees apart. After passing through the 6-diode bridge, full-wave rectification happens, and the output becomes pulsating DC, shown on the right side. The output voltage on a 415-volt system is approximately 600 to 680 volts DC. Why is the DC voltage higher than the AC input? Because the rectifier converts RMS voltage to peak voltage. The relationship is DC output voltage equals AC line voltage multiplied by 1.35. So, 415 volts multiplied by 1.35 equals approximately 560 volts. With a 480-volt system, 480 volts multiplied by 1.35 equals approximately 648 volts DC. This pulsating DC is not yet ready to use. It has ripple, meaning the voltage fluctuates up and down. That is why it must pass into the next stage, the DC bus. In modern high-performance drives, instead of simple diodes, active front-end rectifiers using IGBTs or SCRs are used. This allows power regeneration back to the supply, used in crane, elevator, and regenerative drive applications. Look at the screen. Stage 2. DC bus. The DC bus is the heart of the VFD. Its job is to take the pulsating DC from the rectifier, filter it, smooth it, and store it, ready for the inverter stage. Look at the circuit on screen. After the rectifier, you can see 4 large electrolytic capacitors in the middle, rated 450 volts, 820 microfarads, 105 degrees C, low ESR. And on the right, a DC choke, which is a large copper inductor coil. 2 critical components. Component 1, electrolytic capacitors. These capacitors perform 2 important functions. First, they remove the ripple from the pulsating DC and make it smooth, flat DC. Second, they act as an energy reservoir, storing energy and supplying it instantly when the inverter demands sudden current. Look at the waveform comparison at the bottom of the screen. Left side, pulsating DC with high ripple. Right side, smooth DC with low ripple, flat line. This is what the capacitors achieve. Component 2, DC choke. The DC choke is a series inductor in the DC bus circuit. It reduces harmonics fed back to the supply, improves power factor, and limits inrush current during power on. Now look at the warning box at the bottom right of the screen. Warning: capacitor aging equals common VFD failure. This is extremely important. DC bus electrolytic capacitors have a lifespan of approximately 7 to 10 years, depending on operating temperature and load cycles. As capacitors age, their capacitance reduces, ESR increases, ripple voltage increases, and the VFD becomes unstable. In your maintenance schedule, DC bus capacitor inspection must be done annually. After 7 to 10 years, proactive replacement is recommended. Typical DC bus voltage on a healthy 415-volt system, approximately 560 to 600 volts DC. On a 480-volt system, approximately 650 to 680 volts DC. If you measure less than this, check input voltage and rectifier diodes. If you measure significantly more, check for overvoltage condition. Look at the screen. Stage 3, Inverter, IGBT bridge. The inverter is the most sophisticated and most critical stage of the VFD. Its job is to take the stable DC from the DC bus and convert it back into three-phase AC, but now at variable frequency and variable voltage, exactly what the motor needs. Look at the circuit on screen carefully. You can see 6 IGBT transistor symbols arranged in an H-bridge configuration. Upper arm, 3 IGBTs, one for each output phase, U, V, W. Lower arm, 3 IGBTs, one for each output phase, U, V, W. Total, 6 IGBTs. IGBT stands for Insulated Gate Bipolar Transistor. It is a high-speed semiconductor switch. It can switch on and off thousands of times per second with very low power loss. Look at the top of the screen, PWM switching waveform. This is the gate signal sent to each IGBT by the drive control board. The pulses switch the IGBT on and off at carrier frequencies between 2 kHz and 16 kHz. Now look at the bottom of the screen. Variable frequency output, 0 to 400 Hz. This is the final output, a smooth, approximated sine wave delivered to the motor. How does PWM create a sine wave output? When an IGBT in the upper arm is on, positive DC bus voltage is applied to the motor terminal. When an IGBT in the lower arm is on, negative DC bus voltage is applied. By rapidly switching upper and lower IGBTs and by varying the width of each pulse, the average voltage at the motor terminal follows a sine wave shape. Motor inductance naturally smooths these pulses into a near sinusoidal current. This technique is called sinusoidal PWM, or SPWM. Output frequency is adjustable from 0 Hz up to 400 Hz on most drives. By changing the PWM pattern, output frequency changes, motor speed changes. Look at the screen. V/H ratio, why it matters. This graph is extremely important to understand. Look at it carefully. X-axis, frequency in hertz, from 0 Hz to 50 Hz. Y-axis, voltage in volts, from 0 volts to 415 volts. There is a straight diagonal line from bottom left to top right. This line represents the constant V/H ratio. Two key points on the graph. Point 1, at 50 Hz, voltage is 415 volts. V/H ratio equals 415 divided by 50 equals 8.3 volts per hertz. Point 2, at 25 Hz, voltage is 207 volts. V/H ratio equals 207 divided by 25 equals 8.3 volts per hertz. Same ratio at both points, 8.3 volts per hertz. Why must this ratio be kept constant? In an induction motor, the magnetic flux inside the stator core is determined by the ratio of voltage to frequency. Flux is proportional to V divided by F. If V/H ratio is constant, flux is constant. Motor operates at rated magnetic flux. Full torque capability is maintained at all speeds. If frequency is reduced without reducing voltage, V/H ratio increases. Flux increases beyond rated value. Core saturation occurs. Motor draws excessive magnetizing current. Motor overheats. Windings can be damaged. If voltage is reduced without reducing frequency, V/H ratio decreases. Flux reduces. Motor loses torque capability. This is why every VFD maintains the V/H ratio constant throughout the speed range, from 0 Hz to rated frequency, unless a specific control mode like vector control, where DTC is selected. Look at the bottom of the screen. Constant V/H equals constant motor flux equals no saturation. This is the fundamental control law of basic VFD operation. Now look at the screen, the complete summary. 3 stages, 3 jobs, 1 result. Stage 1, rectifier, AC to DC. Converts 3-phase AC 415 volt supply into pulsating DC approximately 600 volts using a 6-diode bridge, full wave rectification. Stage 2, DC bus, filter and store. Large electrolytic capacitors remove ripple and store energy. DC choke reduces harmonics. Output is smooth, stable DC ready for the inverter. Stage 3, inverter, DC to variable AC. 6 IGBTs in H-bridge configuration. PWM switching at 2 to 16 kHz. Output is variable frequency AC from 0 to 400 Hz. Constant V over Hertz ratio maintained. Look at the bottom of the screen. These 3 stages equal complete speed control. This is the complete power conversion story of every VFD, from fixed frequency AC in to variable frequency AC out, through 3 precise engineered stages. So that completes our deep dive into the 3 power stages of a VFD. Rectifier converts AC to DC. DC bus filters and stores. Inverter recreates variable AC. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. In our next video, we will go even deeper into IGBT and PWM, exactly how the inverter creates variable frequency output in complete detail. See you in the next video.